Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to this beautiful new moon in Taurus. I know it's been a while since I've been on here last. Things have been quite busy on my end. I was busy doing renovations and moving out of the house that I manage. So moving is already quite a lot, but adding in having to do renovations on top of that, and it's sure to be exhausting. So I've just been taking some time to rest and recover after 2 weeks, I'd say, of intense work. And even though we did shift into the new moon in Taurus yesterday, I did not have the energy to come on here to do a reading for the zodiac sign. So I did push it to today. But as we know by now, the moon does stay in a zodiac sign 2.5 days. So we are still in the new moon in Taurus today. And I wanted to come on here to talk a little bit about the energies that we've been moving through as a collective. As I sat with the energies myself, I kind of really noticed that my energy has been ebbing and flowing a lot more during this season as opposed to Aries season, where I definitely felt that I had an energy boost to get a lot done. So the necessary momentum and drive to pack up, do the renos, and move was definitely present. And now as we've shifted into Taurus season, there's a need to slow down. There's a need to ground ourselves and to really reconnect with our bodies, because when we shift from Aries into Taurus energy, we shift from fire, which is intangible, to an earth sign, which is tangible. It's physical. So even though Aries gives us that necessary drive and energy to get stuff done, we are opening ourselves up to experiencing burnout and then fatigue, and maybe our body's shutting down. Maybe we overexert ourselves during Aries season and even cause ourselves pains or strains. For example, I overdid it with the renovations and I sprained my wrist and I haven't been able to use it. So just goes to show that sometimes Aries momentum can take us a little too far. We can overexert ourselves, and it's understanding that we need to expand our consciousness around these patterns, these habits. For myself, I know that it's cyclical. I know I don't overexert myself all the time, and sometimes it's usually just around periods where there's a turnover in terms of tenants in the property I manage. So that's usually April, May, and August, September. So I fully prepare myself for these intense periods, knowing that I'm going to have to take the time to rest and recover afterwards. So I'm curious to hear about you, what you've been moving through, what's coming up for you, what Taurus season is kind of shifting into your life at this point in time, because right now in the sky, we also have a stellium in Taurus. So stellium means when there's 3 planets or more in a certain zodiac sign. So right now we still have the conjunction between Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus. We also now have the sun in Taurus and the moon in Taurus, and we also have Venus. So that gives us 5 planets in Taurus. But we also have planets in Aries still. We have our north node, Chiron, and I believe Mars might also be in Aries at this point. So right now, we might be feeling this kind of push and pull energy between Aries and Taurus. Taurus wants to relax, indulge, splurge, and Aries wants to get things done. So how do we find balance amidst this energy that might be pulling us in different directions? And the key insight that wants to come through right now is to trust. And there's a lot of talk about trust in spiritual communities, and people just say, well, you need to just trust. And trust is like a muscle. It's developed in circumstances where you have no choice but to trust. It's not something that you can pray for. You are given circumstances where you have to trust, and that is where that muscle is developed. For example, this morning I had a few things I wanted to get done. Since I just moved back into my parents' house, the place is chaos. It's hard to find anything, and there were certain things I needed to find to get on with my day. And my guide said, just go shower. You'll find it quickly afterwards. But then my anxiety and my need and my drive to be like, no, I need to find it now would keep kicking in. So actually, one of the crystals I've started working with is celestite, and I have it here. And celestite is a beautiful crystal that helps you calm down. So I definitely felt a rush of anxiety, and I have been feeling a rush of anxiety over the past couple of days, and I've just been sitting with either this guy in my hands or my other personal favorite, who's new, is this guy, clear quartz. And I've just been allowing myself to hold on to my crystals and tap into my breath and to relax and to recenter myself and allow my highest timeline to come in and to allow any worries or stress that I might be feeling or experiencing to just come up and to just observe them. And all this to say, as much as it might be difficult to take this time to slow down and relax, this is the main momentum Taurus is encouraging us to indulge in. So for me, when I need to relax and slow down, it's holding a crystal in my hands and focusing on my breath. And this allows me to recenter myself in my heart and to prioritize. Because there's a lot going on. Not only did I shift from renos and moving, but I'll also be attending a holistic healing fair this coming Saturday. So there's a lot of prep work to do for that. And it's an understanding that what needs to get done will get done. And I invite in more trust by taking the time to slow down and to reconnect with my heart and my breath. So those are the practices I've been using more so on a daily basis lately, because that anxiety has been high. I've still been getting that kick from Aries to push and get stuff done. But then Aries, that's interesting that word came through. Taurus is on the other side, digging its heels in and being like, you need to relax. You need to slow down. You need to tend to your body. So with that being said, today's theme for the reading is going to be messages from Taurus, but also Taurus's ruler, which is Venus, or for those of you that are into Greek mythology, goddess Aphrodite. And it's an understanding that as we tap into Taurus energy is slow moving. It takes its time. It's sensual. You cannot rush a Taurus. And it's understanding that we have this energy within us. You have Taurus that sits somewhere in your birth chart, and that's an area where you are being encouraged to slow down, to take your time, to indulge and savor the experience, and to not worry or stress. You know, like I've known quite a few Tauruses in my life, and I never see them being really stressed because they represent that earthiness. And I also tend to associate Taurus with crystals, funny enough. So for me, Capricorn is more so attuned to animals, Virgo is plants, and for me, Taurus is crystals. So that's why this has synchronistically happened for us today. So with that being said, the decks I'll be using today are the Daily Crystal Inspiration and the Sacred Forest. So for Venus, I will be using the Crystal deck, and then for Taurus, I will be using the Sacred Forest deck. And keep in mind, as I said, there is currently a stellium in Taurus, so different planetary archetypes and energies might come through as I pull cards. So to keep this reading structured and organized, we're going to follow the astrological wheel. So we are going to start with Aries. So if you have Aries as a sun, moon, or rising, this is going to be your reading. So let's get into it. All right. Aries, interestingly enough, you have Lady Venus coming through with Garnet, ignite your passion. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the Sacred Force card 2. So message from Taurus out for Aries, and that's out right now. So we have Wizard of the Woods, focus, with card number 50. And I did forget to mention that we are currently in the month of May. May is the 5th month. We did have the 5-5 portal a couple days ago. Anticipate change. And though Taurus doesn't always do well with change, tap into that trust, that faith, that knowing that these changes are for your highest good. So with these cards coming up for Aries, so we have Garnet, ignite your passion, and then we have Wizard of the Woods, focus. So Garnet is the crystal associated with Capricorn, and it is a very grounding crystal as well. So we're definitely getting root chakra energy and activation taking place for Aries at this time. And it's interesting because Aries, we usually attribute the color red. We have Garnet, which is also a dark red crystal. And interestingly enough, the imagery I'm kind of getting right now is shifting from a bright fiery red, which is usually quick energy, it's fast moving, to a slower, more productive, darker red energy. So there's a need here to really focus in on what it is you want to achieve, Aries, but to understand that it's going to take perseverance, determination, and not necessarily slowness, because I know Aries does not like slowness, but I'd say focus. So you're getting Venus and Taurus coming through to say, focus in on your passions, the things that make you happy, the things that light you up. And let anything else that makes you feel kind of blah or caged or irritable, let that be on the side for now, because you're going to get the momentum to do the things that are kind of not as appealing or not as fun come Gemini season, which is in a couple weeks. So right now, really focus on your passions, what lights you up, what makes you happy. And we're getting a lot of grounding energy coming through for Aries. So we have Garnet, as I said, is a grounding crystal. And then we also have the Wizard of the Forest coming through. Wizard of the Woods. So there's a need for you, Aries, to spend time in nature. It's going to really help you figure out what your passions are. If you're kind of feeling scattered and having a hard time focusing in on what it is you should be doing with yourself, tapping into Garnet energy, but also spending time in the woods. I'm seeing you be barefoot in the woods, either on grass or leaves or rock, whatever kind of surface where you can put your bare feet and really perceive yourself as anchoring in to Mother Gaia is going to really help ground yourself and focus on your passions. And then we also have the 5 and the 0 here. So 5 is change, but in the tarot, it's the Hierophant. So the Hierophant, also known as the Pope, is the teacher. But then we also have the 0 here, which is the Fool energy. So this season, and you're getting kind of a seasonal message, Aries, coming through, is about focusing on how you are the teacher, but how you are also open to new beginnings and kind of being, what's the word? Very playful and engaging and not taking life too seriously. Because even though we have this Wizard of the Woods here, I'm really getting the image that, Aries, this is you. You are this Wizard of the Woods, very wise. You can see things as they are, but there's also a bit of whimsical and playfulness about you too. So for you this season, it's about mixing the wisdom with the whimsical. And as you mix in both those energies, it's going to ignite your passions. So wherever you can crisscross wisdom and whimsical is going to help you figure out what you're meant to be doing. So those are your messages, Aries. I am curious to know how that resonates for you. Feel free to let me know in the comment section. We are now going to move into Taurus and see what messages want to come through. So let's see. Interesting. Okay, so we have Bloodstone, get up, get moving. And we're also going to draw the Sacred Forest message right now. Ooh, Standing Stones Passage. Okay, so I find it really interesting how I said, for me, Taurus represents crystals and also stones to an extent. And we have bloodstone and we have standing stones. And interestingly enough, this is one of the crystals we'll be selling at the fair on Saturday if you're interested. Okay, so for Taurus, there's a need to move on from something. I'm being really drawn to this woman here who's leaning against this rock, but who's looking forward on to these other rocks or stones in the distance. And you have bloodstone that's saying, get up, get moving. So there's kind of a need to leave your zone of safety and comfort. And we have the number 40 coming through here. So we have the 4 and the 0. And the number that's standing out the most to me right now is the 4. In tarot, 4 is represented by the Emperor. An Emperor, interestingly enough, is ruled by Aries. So we're getting this push for you, Taurus, right now to step into leadership, to get going, to get moving. And I'm kind of hearing that for a lot of you, this has to do with your career front. So there might be a new job offer coming through. There might be a promotion on the table, and your guides are like pushing you to apply and say yes, even though it's going to require you to shift, to change, to move. Some of you, if you're open to it, you might physically relocate to another office, maybe even in another country. And as we discussed earlier, change is not something Taurus is usually fond of, but it's understanding that this change has been predestined for you, Taurus. And I'm also getting your ancestors coming through to say that this is a wish fulfillment. So whatever that means for you, whether this relocation leads to you finding the love of your life, it leads to an increase in abundance and happiness, whatever that specific wish is for you, Taurus, and it's going to be different for each and every one of you, it's going to be fulfilled on the other side of you moving. Physically, literally. And it's also understanding that you might have to pivot for some of you. This isn't all of you. This is like a very specific message that's coming through. So I'm, again, being drawn to this woman who needs to release holding on to this stone. For some of you, you're going to be shifting and pivoting to this other stone. For others, it's that one. And for others still, it's going to be that further one. So you're going to have to change and adapt. Again, I'm kind of getting work environment vibes. You might sign up for a certain position, but then a higher ranking position opens up all of a sudden, and then like overnight or within 24 hours, you need to make a decision as to yes or no, will you take the job offer? So the main message that's coming through for Taurus right now from Venus and Taurus energy as a whole is being willing to pivot, to shift. And also understand, Taurus, that with the stellium currently in your sign, this is giving you the momentum to really shift your life. Because as we discussed, we have the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. So Jupiter is the planet of luck, abundance, expansion. And then we also have Uranus, who's like the rebel entering the party. And Taurus chooses its moments to be a rebel. And with these energies coming through for you right now, there's going to be that momentum to just potentially walk away from something as well, right? Because even though she looks like she's walking towards something, she might also be walking away from something. And it's knowing that there's going to be these shifts and these pivots happening. And I'm now being drawn to the bloodstone crystal. So we're seeing the green and the red in this crystal. So red is usually root chakra energy, and then we have the green, which is heart chakra energy. So your roots might be physically removed from a location so that you can go elsewhere. But understanding that whatever happens with your roots, if this is a physical move, it's going to make your heart happy in the long run. Because don't forget, we also have Venus in your sign right now too. And Venus is the planet of money, love, prosperity, fertility. And it's understanding that she might kind of nudge you to move, literally, to some other location that's going to be better for your heart in the long run. I'm hearing heart in the physical sense. So if any of you have been struggling with breathing, let's say asthma or like heart palpitations and things like that, for some of you, it's the climate you're currently living in is causing those issues. And as soon as you move elsewhere, those issues are naturally going to resolve. So that was a really interesting message for Taurus that wanted to come through. So definitely a lot of movement coming through for Taurus. So Taurus, feel free to let me know in the comments how that resonates for you. I would love to hear from you. We are now going to move into Gemini. So if you have Gemini as your sun, moon, or rising, this is going to be your reading. That flew out. Interesting. Okay, so we have Azurite, get laser focused. And your sacred force message is... That also flew out. We have two that flew out. Okay. I'm going to take these. Interesting. As I almost spill my water. Okay. So with everything that just happened, the cards flying out, me almost spilling my water, I kind of feel that Gemini, your energy might kind of be all over the place right now. And that there's a need to get laser focused and really bring your attention down to the details of what it is you're looking to undertake. And, okay, I'm getting imagery coming in. I'm going to do my best to describe it. So what I'm sensing for Geminis right now is that you're going through a death and rebirth process. You might be finding it difficult to stay focused on your job, your kids, your husband, your everyday life, because there's a huge shift happening within you at a soul level. And this shift has to do with you releasing a part of your identity, your sense of self that's no longer resonating. And it's an understanding that when we go through a death and rebirth process, there's often a period of mourning or a period of grief as we release and let go and kind of close the chapter on this old sense of self. Because you have Azurite, get laser focus, and then you have Raven Spirit, truth. And we have 32, which makes a 5. So there's a big shift happening within you, Gemini, right now. And I'm being really drawn to this crystal because if you look at it, it has like these streams of just water going through. And then we have green all around that looks like forest. This card actually kind of makes me think of the Amazon. But what I'm seeing and the visual I'm getting is these streams of water expanding and kind of taking over to the point where the whole crystal becomes blue. So to me, this symbolizes that there's a big shift happening and that you've been sensing this shift for a while. So like, look at these blue veins. They've been there for a while. Whatever these parts of your identity are, they've always been within you. And they're now starting to just expand and take over. So any part of you that's no longer resonating, that's no longer in alignment with this blue that wants to spread and kind of take over, is going to collapse and fall away. And that can cause a lot of nervousness. It can cause a lot of stress, especially on the physical body. And especially if we're not really attuned to energies within themselves, right? It can be overwhelming when we don't know what's going on. But this is what's going on. Your truth is looking to emerge, and your truth, I don't know why it's colors, your truth is blue. So however that resonates for you, this green needs to go and the blue needs to kind of take over because that's your truth. And ravens could be particularly significant for you at this point in time. And it's interesting because I'm being drawn to this woman's sleeves. We see that same kind of like snaking pattern, kind of like veins, like this crystal. So there's something that's expanding within you right now, Gemini, and you might not be fully conscious of what it is just yet. And the main message that wants to come through is to just let it happen. Whatever it is, whatever needs to fall away, if things feel particularly chaotic, do your best to just go with the flow, literally, because you're getting water coming through very strongly as a supportive element for you right now. And then the other card that came through was Willow Spirit, flexibility. But this card came in reverse. So to me, this kind of indicates the support that you're not yet seeing that's available to you, and that's flexibility. So when you can kind of release your grip a little bit and allow yourself to go with the flow, this transformation will go a lot more smoothly. And with the get laser focused, I'm definitely sensing that it has to do with your truth and who you are underneath it all. And your spirit guides are coming through to say it doesn't matter if you need to completely pivot and shift your identity or your external appearance. Like, you might have been dressing one way your whole life, and then all of a sudden you want to just completely change your wardrobe. And your guides are saying it's okay. As long as it makes you feel good and it's in alignment with your truth, that's the shift that needs to happen. And it's about allowing it and being flexible too. You know, like, I'm kind of getting the imagery of like cut hair, tattoos, piercings. If that's not something that's feasible for you right now, feel free to just look online at different styles and different options, you know, and start maybe designing your own tattoos if that's something that's interesting to you, or looking at different jewelry types that would be more in alignment with who you know yourself to be. So those are all the messages that want to come through for Gemini. So definitely a big shift happening when it comes to your sense of self. Definitely a death and rebirth. And there's a need to alchemize these older parts of yourself so that you can really step into who you know yourself to be. So yeah, feel free to let me know how that resonates. All right, we're going to move on now to Cancer. So this is going to be your message, and hopefully there's still sound because I did get a call that just came in. All right, message from Venus. Now we're going to pick the Sacred Forest card. Okay. So right now we have the Moonstone coming through for Cancer, live your purpose. And then we have Wood Nymph, beauty, coming through. So the message for Cancer that wants to come through is there's a need to really tap into your femininity. And I think actually I'm going to take a break right here and I'm going to come back online. So I will finish Cancer's reading in a moment. Hello, we are back to continue on with our zodiac reading. We were at Cancer, and the card that came out as a message from Venus for Cancer is Moonstone, which is very ironic because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and Moonstone is actually one of my favorite crystals. It's associated with the divine feminine. So if you're looking for a crystal that supports you to trust your feminine intuition, your feminine abilities, your feminine insight, anything to do with femininity, Moonstone is your crystal. And it's coming through with the message, live your purpose. And then from Taurus, we have Wood Nymph, beauty. And just look at this card. There's this beautiful woman just enjoying herself in this pond with lilies. She has beautiful sisters by her side. She's in the forest. And then there's also a full moon as well, which again, we're getting that moon energy coming through for Cancer, which again is very synchronistic given that Cancer is ruled by the moon. So the main message I'm getting for Cancer is that there's really a need to reconnect with the moon on an even deeper and conscious level. So maybe tapping into the phases of the moon, understanding that your energy, being ruled by the moon, is going to ebb and flow, wax and wane even more than a regular person. And this is regardless of your gender. It has to do with your planetary ruler being the moon. And there's a need here to really tap into these phases a lot more and understanding the cycles of the moon. So right now we have a new moon in Taurus. New moons are when the sky is dark and we can't see the moon. And it's about planting and sowing seeds. And interestingly enough, with the message, live your purpose, coming through, there's really a need for you, Cancer, to focus in on what your purpose is and to not get stressed about it, to allow your intuition to naturally flow it towards you. And the imagery I'm getting right now is you standing on a beach and your toes are in the sand and you're just watching the water ebb and flow and gently crash onto the seashore. And next thing you know, there's a bottle that just washes up onto the shore beside you. And in this bottle, there's a message. And this message is your purpose and why you are here. So that is a very strong visual I'm getting for you, Cancer, right now. If it feels supportive for you to do so, feel free to just tap into that visualization. Close your eyes. Really picture yourself on this seashore. Feel the texture of the sand between your toes. Maybe you're really spreading your toes into the sand and really feeling that grainy or soft texture. And as you look out onto the water, you see this object slowly being brought in by the tide. You feel peaceful and you feel at ease as you watch this object come closer and closer. As this object approaches, you slowly make your way into the water, feeling the coolness of this element gently lap against your ankles. As you stand here, the object finally makes its way to you. It's a bottle, and it has a message for you. You lean down and you pick up this bottle. Before opening it, you take a moment to really look at this bottle. Does it have a particular shape? Is it made of a certain element? Glass, plastic, metal? Does it have a certain color to it? Simply notice the colors and the texture of this bottle. How it feels in your hands. And when you're ready, gently take the lid off of this bottle or the cap and pull out the message. Take a deep breath and slowly exhale as you unscroll this piece of paper. Or is it a wood chip? Simply notice what this message is engraved upon. And as you take another cleansing breath, breathing in and gently releasing, you know that you are ready to be shown your purpose. What is this message? Simply allow, release any judgment or stress that might come up, and know that this message is meant for you. This purpose is yours and yours alone to fulfill and manifest. There's nothing to worry about. Maybe you take this message and gently bring it up to your heart, preparing yourself and being ready to embody this purpose, whatever it is. Knowing that it is your path to walk. As you breathe in your purpose, tension and stress that you didn't notice before slowly dissolves and is released into the water at your feet. You feel a sense of ease and peace washing over you as you now know your purpose. You express gratitude for the water, your ruling element, and give thanks to the moon for always providing insight and guidance. And whenever you're ready, you can gently come back into the space and open your eyes. The main message coming through for Cancer is there's a need for you to reconnect with your sense of beauty, your sensitivity, your intuition, understanding that you're not meant to be understood by everyone. You're meant to be understood by the moon and the moon alone. And as soon as you foster that connection, that relationship, things are going to unfold beautifully for you without much effort on your part. Be at ease and be at peace. You have nothing to worry about, Cancer. All right, so those were your messages. Feel free to share with me in the comments how this resonated for you. We did do a little guided meditation / visualization exercise, but that's what wanted to come through for you, Cancer. And as always, feel free to let me know how that is resonating for you. So we are now going to move in to Leo. I'm feeling so relaxed right now. Oh my God. Okay, so message for Leo. Okay. We have Labradorite, See the Magic. And that card came out in reverse. And then the Sacred Forest message is... Interesting. Okay. So as I was shuffling, the first sense I got for Leo is that there's something being hidden at this point in time and not revealed to you right now. So take that how it resonates, but I'm definitely feeling that there's something kind of cryptic and hidden right now that's not ready to be revealed just yet. So you have Labradorite, See the Magic in reverse. And then we have Spirit Garden of Autumn, Letting Go with card 35. So with both these cards, I'm definitely seeing and sensing the infinity symbol. I'm sensing the number 8. I'm sensing abundance, but it's abundance in an unusual form, especially with Labradorite. See the magic being in reverse. Now this reversal is kind of hinting at different things. So this reversal could indicate infinity, abundance that you don't see coming yet. It could be abundance that is still hidden, or it could be abundance that's not yet ready to be received by you just yet. And with the letting go card of autumn, this could signify that autumn might be an auspicious period of time for you in terms of reaping in abundance, seeing the magic, but there's also a need to let go. And I'm actually going to see what's at the bottom of the deck for Leo. See if I can get a bit more clarity on this letting go card. We have Earth Spirit, stability. So for some of my Leos, the letting go has to do with stability. It might have to do with releasing an old job, releasing old habits that are no longer serving you. And Spirit is coming through to say that they understand that whatever this shift is, whatever this ending is, it's going to cause stress. It's going to be overwhelming. I'm definitely seeing kind of just like an ending. So some of you might just lose your job. You might quit unexpectedly. And there's going to be kind of stress and chaos ensuing as I kind of hear people yelling outside. So confirmation that things are going to be chaotic and you're going to have to forego this stability for a little bit. And it's an understanding that you're going to have to re-anchor into something else. And the something else that I'm being shown right now is faith. You're going to have faith and belief in yourself that this shift that's happening, this ending that has happened or will be happening, is for your highest good. Even if you can't see that yet. Because as I said, Labradorite was in reverse. Labradorite is a crystal associated with transformation, and it's also a crystal that's usually associated with all the chakras, but mainly the third eye chakra, which is our center of intuition. And also I like to tie it into divine knowing, even though that's more so the crown chakra, but it's trusting in the universe and moving from that place, right? Your third eye is open, your crown is open, and you're just moving in complete flow and divine harmony with the universe. And I believe that for Leo, this card's coming out because you're one with the universe. You are meant to be the embodiment of the universe on a conscious level. And when you start to realize that for yourself, that the divine, that the universe constantly supports you and that you are one with them, this card is going to come upright. And you're going to be able to see the magic and know that everything always works out for your highest good. And that the stability you thought you had was an illusion all along. Because you create your stability. And I've talked about this a lot, but stability can only come from the self. Everything else that's external can disappear. The only thing that's enduring is your connection to your soul and to your heart. And I'm definitely feeling that for you, Leo, you're getting kind of I'm not sensing a push, but more so kind of like a gravitational pull to just trust your heart, to trust your soul, and that the moves you need to be making over the next couple months are going to put you in a better position. And you might not see that better position until the fall and even winter time. But know that this chaos, these changes, these shifts are going to put you onto the path that you were meant to walk all along, and that you need to just forego this stability. And again, the stability I'm sensing for a lot of you is a job. And it's time to just walk away. And it's interesting because as I look at this Spirit Guardian of Autumn, letting go, I'm being drawn to turning it upside down. You see her head, her hair is made of leaves. It's just letting it all just fall and go. And as I hold this card upside down, the number kind of symbol looks like a sun. So a new dawn is going to rise for you during the fall. / winter season for sure. But first, the shedding, the letting go needs to happen. So that was a really interesting message for Leo. If you're Leo sun, moon, or rising, I would love to hear from you and know how that resonated or didn't resonate. You know, you're always free to share whatever is coming up for you in the comments. I would love to hear from you. So we're now going to move into Virgo, so sun, moon, or rising, or even stelliums for that matter. But as always, you're not limited by your astrological placement. If a zodiac message resonates, it's meant for you. Okay, so another reversal for Virgo. Let's see. Sacred Forest. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So we have Shungite, Detox Your Life. That came in reverse. And then we also have Aspen Spirit, Courage. This is one of my favorite cards. I find it's absolutely beautiful. You see a castle, you see butterflies, you see the beautiful aspen leaves. Stunning. Okay, so for Virgo, interestingly enough, okay, Venus is kind of being sassy with Virgo, and she's covered through to say that you need to detox your life, and the detox that needs to happen is those negative thought patterns that have been surfacing lately. I'm hearing that some of you might have slipped back into a thought pattern where you're either complaining, or there's kind of an over focus on negativity, or there's just kind of self-doubt or a lack of self-worth. Whatever this habit is, Venus is really shining a light on it right now, and she's calling upon Shungite to help you detox your life in regards to whatever this habit is. Venus is like, girl, this needs to go. Whatever it is, it's been dragging you down, and it's been kind of causing toxicity within your body for some of you. So if you've noticed recent flare-ups in regards to your body, maybe some inflammation, maybe like a random like skin breakout or whatever, it has to do with whatever this habit is. And Venus is really bringing it to your attention. So it was in reverse, but it's up right now because Venus has said her piece. Okay, that was really interesting. And then we have Aspen Spirit, Courage. I might see what's under the deck, because I feel like the energies I'm getting from both these cards are completely separate. Interesting. Okay. Underneath the deck for Virgo, we have Spirit Garden of Summer, Expansion. So there's kind of like two really distinct messages coming through for Virgo, which is really interesting. So Venus is kind of really adamant about this behavioral pattern, whatever it is, it needs to get the fuck out. And then Taurus is kind of opening up a softer timeline with Aspen Spirit, Courage, and then Spirit Garden of Summer, Expansion. And I'm kind of really noticing the trees in both of these cards. So the aspen, and then we have what I think is an apple tree. And apple trees usually signify abundance, prosperity. And you can even tie it into financial abundance, so receiving money, receiving a windfall. So I was going to try and figure out how I can tie in these timelines, but Venus is like, nope, my message is completely separate from Taurus. So we're just going to focus in on Taurus energy right now and see what Taurus wants to communicate with you, Venus. Right now. So check out your Venus sign. Venus is really coming through for you, Virgo, right now. There might be an activation happening where Venus is currently transiting your birth chart. There might be something happening. There might be certain aspects interplaying between Venus right now and your birth Venus. So check that placement out, because all I keep hearing is Venus, Venus, Venus right now. Okay, so Taurus is communicating something about stability with the castle here, so laying your foundation, and then also being able to reap the rewards of that foundation. And I knew there was a patterning. I knew there was a connection between the message that Venus wanted to convey. So whatever this thought pattern is, or this habit is, it needs to be released, because there's expansion waiting for you on the other side. There's also abundance, and I keep getting that it's financial abundance that's waiting for you, but this needs to happen first. Right? So for a lot of my Virgos, this is still in reverse, even though Venus is like, I said my piece, it's now upright. But this is really interesting. Okay, I'm getting a specific image. I'm going to try and put it into words. This is like the main Venus energy, but then all of your separate, distinct Venuses based on your birth chart are also activating. So there's a big Venus activation happening for my Virgos, which is really interesting. And then Taurus is coming through to say that it's going to require courage. It's going to require expansion in order to reap the rewards of what's coming for you. And it's going to come for you once you detox your life and get rid of this habit, whatever this is. So there's a lot coming for you, Virgo, especially during the summertime with the spirit guardian of summer coming through. There's huge abundance coming through, this expansion. I'm seeing unexpected gifts and blessings coming through. But for some of these, it's going to require courage for you to get them. And it's interesting because I'm being drawn to the apples at the top, right? So when we think about apples at the top of a tree, we can often think of ourselves as needing to climb a ladder to get there. And if you're afraid of heights, you might second guess your ability to climb up that ladder and get those apples. But Taurus is coming through to say, reach, Virgo. Reach. Go for it and tap into that courage. For my Virgos that are second guessing themselves, that are experiencing self-doubt, tap into your own Taurus placement. Tap into your Venus. That is where you're going to get the empowerment you need to move forward and claim this abundance that wants to come through for you. Again, I'm kind of getting images of this could be speaking at an event. It could be hosting your own retreat or workshop and stuff like that, and it takes courage to do that. But there's a lot of money on the other side for you. There's a lot of happiness, there's a lot of joy. So take the time you need. And it's funny, underneath we have the hummingbird spirit, joy. So there's a lot of joy, money waiting for you on the other side of these habits that need to be released, Virgo. So whatever that is, tap into your Venus. Use her wisdom and her medicine to clear out whatever this is and to detox your body. And you're going to be right as rain in no time. So those are the messages for Virgo. Feel free to let me know how that resonates for you. I would love to hear from you. We are now going to move into Libra. So Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This is going to be your reading. Ooh, okay. Sacred Forest. Interesting. Okay, I love this energy for Libra already. Look at all the green, even before I read what these cards are. All right, so Jade, be the bigger person, and then Spirit Guardian of Spring, activation. So what caught my eye right away were the numbers on this card. So we have 36. So in the tarot, 3 represents the Empress and 6 represents the Lovers. So there's definitely divine counterpart energy and activations coming through for Libra. So if you've been single, if you've been looking for your person, you are being activated and you're kind of being, I'm seeing an image, but I don't know how to put it into words. You're kind of being fine-tuned in order to be appropriately receptive to your person coming through. So we have divine counterparts, but if our energies aren't harmonious, they repel each other. And what I'm getting with these cards for you, Libra, is that your energy is being fine-tuned by spirit and your own guardians right now to make you, what's the word, magnetic to your counterpart, being attracted to you energetically and wanting to come into your life. And for some of you, you already know who this person is. This person has already entered your life, and there's a need for you to be the bigger person. There's a need for you to forgive and to really tap into being your highest self. Let go the pettiness, let go the drama, and whoever this counterpart is, for some of you who have been single and haven't met anyone yet, and this person might be someone from your past that you overlooked. And Spirit is coming through to say, be open-minded to whoever this person is. And if you're looking for confirmation in regards to who this person is, ask Spirit for confirmation. Ask that they wear green. Ask that you see jade when you're on your way to maybe having coffee with an old friend that you haven't spoken to in years. For some of you, decades. Be open to receiving this person as they are now, not as how they have been. That sentence really just left my brain. Anyways, be open to receiving the person as they are now, not how they have been. Right? Because just as much as you have grown, you have changed, this person might also have grown and has changed. Why am I confusing my verbs right now? Hasn't, have. Anyways, I'm getting tongue-tied. So some of you might feel tongue-tied when you go and meet this person again for the first time. And that's okay. But yeah, a huge kind of activation happening for Libra, and this is a love activation. So you might be feeling weird things in and around your heart chakra. You might be feeling palpitations. You might get some kind of rash breaking out, and that's just because the energy is getting ready to expand. And for a lot of you, welcome in your divine counterpart. For others of you, if it feels supportive, wearing jade or keeping jade on your person is also going to make your energetic field not more magnetized or magnetic. I'm kind of getting just like recalibrated and kind of clearing out any weird discrepancies that might be happening within your energy field. Jade is going to help kind of uniform everything and smooth out the energy. The image I'm kind of getting is just like, I don't know, when you like wash your hair or blow dry it or something, then you have like all these like frizzy little bits. Well, Spirit is saying that that's how your energy has been. It's been overly static and kind of just frizzy looking, and jade is helpful in terms of smoothing that out. See jade as like deeply conditioning and nourishing your hair. Hair message for some of you wants to come through. Anyways, that is the message for Libra. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you in the comments. We're now going to move into Scorpio. So Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. This is going to be your message. Interesting that came out. All right. Yeah, I was definitely sensing kind of like a darker crystal wanting to come out. And funny enough, we have rainbow obsidian coming through. So regular obsidian is black, but we have the beautiful rainbow obsidian coming through. And obsidian as a crystal is known to be very fiery, very intense. It is grounding, it is protective, but it definitely has that fiery edge to it. So rainbow obsidian, for those of you that might be very sensitive to crystals and find obsidian a bit overpowering, rainbow obsidian is a good crystal to use as an alternative to the traditional obsidian. It's softer, it's more gentle, and it's associated also with the heart chakra, whereas traditional obsidian is root chakra based. And this card says, heal your heart. And in terms of Taurus message, we have toadstool growth, 44. So I'm getting different messages for Scorpio coming through. For some of my Scorpios, there's a need to grieve something. There's an ending that has occurred, whether you're consciously aware of this or not. And this ending requires you to process your emotions and your feelings. And some of these emotions and these feelings are darker. And here's the thing. As much as we like to associate Scorpio with darkness, which is true, if you're not an empowered Scorpio, you tend to flee from the darkness and you tend to be afraid of it. And with Rainbow Obsidian coming through, there's kind of an initiation coming through into your own inner darkness, but in a way that is softer and more gentler. I don't know, gently, if that's a word. Softer energy coming through when it comes to approaching your darkness. And there's a need to focus on your heart chakra too. And it's interesting because, as I mentioned, obsidian is a grounding and protective crystal. And we have a heart drawn onto this crystal. So there's a need for you to really practice protecting your heart right now. This could be additional boundaries. This could be working on healing yourself. But I'm kind of getting that there's a need to do gentle, very gentle shadow work right now around this ending, this grief, this pain, because there's definitely something affecting your heart, Scorpio, right now. And it's knowing that this pain, whatever is weighing in your heart right now, it is protected. You can start to explore it in the safety of this crystal's energy, but also in the safety of your guides that are surrounding you at this time. And then we have Taurus saying that there's growth happening. There's growth that's ready for you on the other side and through this process. And like, that's the thing. When it comes to darkness, you can't avoid it. You can't bypass it. You need to go through it. And I'm getting the message that for some of my Scorpios that have been kind of reluctant to explore their darkness, getting Rainbow Obsidian might be very supportive for you at this time. Or simply tapping into this crystal's energy as a visual symbol can be helpful and supportive. And it's understanding that your growth can be slow and steady. It doesn't need to be fast paced. And it's interesting because Scorpio and Taurus are astrological axis opposites, and you're really getting your axis counterpart, Scorpio, coming through to say that it's okay to grow, to shift, to change slowly. Things don't need to happen quickly. And Taurus is really reminding you to look at nature. If you look at plants, they all have different growth rates. Some of them are very slow. Some of them sprout very quickly. And it's understanding that every piece of nature is beautifully crafted and designed, and so are you. And that there's nothing to stress about when it comes to diving into your heart, diving into this pain, and that you can take all the time you need. If this isn't something you feel like tackling or diving into right now, that's okay. With the new moon being in Taurus today, you can simply set the intention that you desire to heal your heart and then release it to the universe, knowing that the universe is listening and ready to give you the opportunity you need for growth at the right time without overloading your system either. So those were the messages for Scorpio. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate in the comments. I would love to hear from you. We are now going to move into Sagittarius. So let's find out what Lady Venus has to say for Sagittarius. Okay, that's too many cards. I'm already getting visuals of like Venus energy with Sagittarius being like a partier and just rocking out, which I can't say I'm surprised. Okay, we're getting 2 cards coming out for Venus. And I'm going to draw a Sacred Forest card. And okay, I mean, I feel like it's balanced. Alright, Sagittarius, you had 2 crystal cards come out and you had 2 Sacred Forest cards come out. So, you have Black Kyanite, Set Strong Boundaries. And then you have Appetite, get out of your comfort zone. And then we have thicket of thorns, uncertainty. And then we have spirit guardian of winter, retreat. And this was in reverse. Okay, so there's different messages coming through for Sagittarius. I will do my best to make sure this makes sense. All right, so right away, when it comes to your comfort zone, Sagittarius, there's a need to move out of it. There's a need to just expand, and there's a need to just kind of put yourself in unfamiliar situations and places, is what I'm hearing. Kind of like if you go to a certain coffee shop all the time, Spirit is coming through to say, go to a different one. Change up your routine. Really get out of what you do on a regular basis. And then set strong boundaries. That card hasn't really come through just yet, so we'll leave that for now. With the retreat card coming through, I feel like there was a message, and this might have been months ago for Sagittarius, and this card came out. And if you've been thinking about doing your own retreat, it's possible. This card is here on the table, but it's in reverse right now. And it's Spirit Guardian of Winter. So with it being in reverse and it being the season of winter, there's the need to move slowly, to not rush into things. If hosting your own retreat is something you've been thinking about, move slow. Don't tell many people about it. This is where I think the boundaries are coming through. Don't share your ideas and what it is you want to be doing just yet. Keep it close to the vest, and the right moment will present itself. There will be no doubt about where you're supposed to be hosting this retreat, who you're supposed to invite, what the theme is meant to be. All the details are going to naturally kind of just flow out. But right now you need to keep this idea, whatever it is, really close to the vest and not really share it with anyone. And then there's thicket of thorns, uncertainty. So for some of you, that whatever this is, this project, this retreat, maybe even writing a book for some of you, whatever this is, there's a lot of uncertainty right now. And you might be feeling stressed and kind of just nervous and all over the place. So let's see actually what's at the bottom. Interesting. At the bottom of the crystal deck, we have Shungite, detox your life. So for some of my Sagittariuses, there's a need to really just detox your life. And I'm hearing a physical detox, not necessarily like ingesting, doing something for your body, but more so your physical space. There's a need to get rid of junk, to clear out your space. And I'm kind of getting that, like, as soon as you clear out your physical space, like get rid of clothes that don't fit, stuff you don't wear, old books maybe you don't read, new energy is going to start to come through. Because I'm kind of getting the imagery that your space right now is frosty and kind of frozen because it's too cluttered. So even though you might have these ideas that you want to take action on, there's no space for them yet. That's why everything has been on standstill for now. And as soon as you clear out your space, this is naturally going to flow into your life. And as soon as this takes root and starts to happen, whatever this is, you're going to realize how easy it is to move out of your comfort zone and actually start doing what it is you want to be doing with your life. And you're going to realize how easy it is to also flow with uncertainty because you're connected to your inner truth. Because appetite as a crystal is often connected with the throat chakra. So there's a need for you to speak your truth and to remain in integrity with who you truly are underneath it all. It's not about people pleasing. It's about you being authentic, regardless of what that looks like and how other people might perceive that or receive it. Because how people receive you, Sagittarius, has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them, and that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to make sure you are in alignment with your truth, that you are authentic with your throat and expression. And as long as you are in alignment, you are in integrity, you are authentic, everything is going to unfold exactly how it should. That was really interesting. Okay, So those are the messages for Sagittarius. Feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you. We are now going to move into Capricorn. So if you have Capricorn as your sun, moon, or rising, or Capricorn energy resonates for you, this is going to be your reading. All right, so let's see here. Oh, that kind of flew out. Okay, that's way too many hearts. I mean, that one flew out. We'll take that one. Interesting. Okay, so Wizard of the Woods focus is out for Capricorn. So you could be working with an Aries because this card came out for Aries. And then we have, oh my god, I love this crystal. Angel Aura Quartz, lighten up. And we also have fluorite, find peace within. Oh Lord, I find this really funny. These are the crystals coming out for Capricorn. Being a Capricorn sun, I have definitely felt the need to lighten up lately because I've been kind of hella stressed with everything that's been happening. And there's a need to find peace within. And also, the other message that's coming through for Capricorn is that there's going to be, or there has been, a lot of synchronicities around you at this time. Because as I look at all these cards, there's kind of very similar color patterns coming through. Kind of like those greens, those blues, those purples. So there's a lot of synchronicities happening around Capricorn at this time. And a lot of serendipitous events, encounters. Faith is really kind of taking over for Capricorn during Taurus season. And there's really a need for you to, first of all, lighten up and also be at peace as you move through this season because things are being worked out for your greatest good behind the scenes. So things are being shifted, things are changing. And I'm kind of hearing at an accelerated rate, but you're not ready to see it yet. So it's kind of being veiled and kept hidden from you. And interestingly enough, I'm getting the Wizard of the Woods as one of your guides. And this guy is saying that there's a portal open for you right now for you to just cast in whatever it is you want to release and cast seeds for whatever it is you want to call in. So if you want to cast seeds to lighten up, be more stress-free, your wizard helper friend here is going to make it happen. But I'm also getting a separate message that for some of my Capricorns, some of you like being stressed because it gives you a sense of productivity. You feel like you're doing something if you're stressed. And your wizard friend is coming through to say that you need to release your over-identification with stress as a positive. Because for some of you, this stress is too much. You know, stress can be a good thing, but it needs to be at a reasonable level. And right now, the stress level that you've been in has been too much to the point where it might be impacting your physical vessel. You might be breaking out. You might be feeling extra stiff. You might have rashes. You might have sores or pain come out of nowhere. And it's because your stress level is too high. It needs to be brought back down. So either working with either of these crystals or just visually tapping into them is going to be very helpful and supportive for you. And I personally love fluorite. It's a crystal I gravitate towards a lot. I have quite a few pieces of it. And the beauty with fluorite is that it comes in different shades and colors. You can get pure purple, pure blue, green, yellow. You can get a mix of colors as well. And it's about understanding that Capricorn, all of you are unique in how you handle and navigate your stress. You need to figure out what activity you need to do in order to decrease that stress. Maybe it's to go for a walk. Maybe it's to get a massage. Maybe it's to binge on your favorite TV show while eating your favorite dinner. We are in Taurus season after all, and Taurus is all about indulging our senses and having fun with things that pleasure us and bring us feel good energy and emotions. And Taurus is bringing to the table that you need to feel more of that, Capricorn. You need more of that feel good energy, and to just decrease your stress level, get it to a level that is tolerable, and to not over-identify with stress either. Like, stress is not a personality trait. It's something that happens to us based on certain circumstances. And stress can ebb and flow based on our life changes and what we're going through. It's not meant to be a constant state. So your wizard friend is saying it's time to clear out the stress, Capricorn. It's time for you to relax. And if you still need to be productive, you still need to get things done, pace yourself. Don't burn yourself out. Go slowly and take time to rest and do things that are enjoyable while you need to be productive. I'm kind of getting the image of like drinking a cup of tea while you have to do like inventory or spreadsheets, or drinking your favorite coffee. If you're into crystals, make sure you have your favorite crystals on your office desk. If you like plants, buy yourself a plant. Anything you can do to support yourself while being productive is what's going to be really good for you, Capricorn, at this point in time. And I'm really hearing that Taurus is going to magnify your intentions for you, Capricorn, specifically. So if you're Capricorn sun, moon, or rising, really set those intentions today and allow that Taurus stellium, that Taurus energy to amplify, especially if it's intentions that have to do with peace and lighting up. So those are your messages for you, Capricorn. Let me know how that resonates, doesn't resonate in the comments. I would love to hear from you. We are now going to move into Aquarius. So if you're Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising, this is going to be your reading. Okay, we're just going to take these cards. So, for Aquarius, we have red jasper, take action. And then we also have kind of two different energies coming through in terms of sacred forest messages. We have the mystic meadow, sanctuary. And then we have the stag spirit, leadership. So, right away, what I'm getting from these sacred force messages for you, Aquarius, is that you're quantum leaping. You've kind of maybe been tucked away, hidden, felt maybe unseen, or as though things haven't really been changing or shifting for you lately. And it's because your energy's kind of been protected in order to gain momentum and to let itself really build. Because you're going to quantum leap and step into a position of leadership. And the aligned actions that you're going to need to be taking in order to sustain this energy are going to be revealed to you through grounding and anchoring into your root chakra. So Aquarius, especially being an air sign, it's easy to be carried away in our thoughts, to get caught up in our head, and to just overthink things. So there's a real need to just anchor into your body, because this quantum leap is happening, or is going to happen for you very soon. And there's a need to leave this sanctuary, this sense of safety, this sense of just like being hidden away. Let that drop, because this is what you're stepping into, Aquarius. And in terms of new moon intentions you could set, could be confirmation around the actions you need to be taking. If you've felt that the action steps you need to be taking have been unclear or fuzzy, or you're second guessing yourself, set intentions. Maybe you ask that you see red crystals when you're about to make a decision, or you see the word jasper, or meet someone that's called Jasper, whatever it is, or maybe even seen a stag. Whatever it is, don't be afraid to ask the universe for confirmation and support as you move through this energy. Because as I said, the first thing I noticed with these cards was quantum leaping. You go from 26 to 39. This is a big jump that's going to be happening for you, Aquarius, and it can be a little unsettling. So making sure you take the time to ground and anchor yourself in is going to be very supportive for you at this time. So those are the messages I'm getting for Aquarius. Let me know how that resonates in the comments. I would love to hear from you. We are now going to move into our final zodiac sign, which is Pisces. So let's find out what Venus has to say. That's too many cards. Too many cards fell out again, but we did have the rainbow obsidian flip over briefly. All right, interestingly enough, you have two cards that fell out perfectly, and they're both, I haven't seen either of them, so we're going to discover them together right now. Adventuring, create your own luck, and oh my God. Wizard of the Woods, focus. And again, we're having like that same kind of color pattern coming through, which is really interesting for Pisces. Okay, I might just see what's under the deck. Interesting. Okay, so in terms of crystals, at the bottom we have the golden healer quartz, and it says open the door, and that was in reverse. And then we have Bee Spirit, prosperity. That was also in reverse. Okay, so there's kind of a sense of prosperity and abundance that wants to come through for Pisces at this time. But I'm kind of getting the sense that there's something blocking this abundance that wants to come through. And I'm getting the sense that it's financial, but it could be non-financial. It could be gifts. It could be a renewal in terms of health. But just with the open the door being in reverse and prosperity being in reverse, there's kind of smoke around you right now, Pisces. You're not seeing things clearly. I might ask Venus for another clarifier. Alright, so as I'm shuffling the deck, Venus is saying that for Pisces, it's important for you to step into your own empowerment this season, to really be bold and to really express yourself, and to make sure that where you're expressing yourself from is your heart. As long as you're coming from this place, you have nothing to fear. Because I'm getting the sense that there's like a money bag that wants to come in for Pisces. Again, this could be inheritance, this could be like a job promotion. There's something to do with money that wants to come in for Pisces, but it's blocked right now. Like there's just this mist around it. And the key to unlocking whatever that abundance is your empowerment, is you stepping in to confidence, self-esteem, and claiming what is rightfully yours. So especially with create your own luck, we're getting the indication from Venus that it's about you really stepping into being the master and creator of your own destiny and reality. And with the Wizard of the Woods, we also have more of that green energy coming through, which I find very interesting. So there's a lot of heart energy, and then we also have Rainbow Obsidian, healed your heart at the bottom. So there's a lot of heart chakra energy coming through for Pisces at this point in time. And it's really interesting because as I have the cards laid out right now, I have my Celestite in the middle of these cards, and it's been there for all the readings so far, but it's really drawing my attention right now. And Celestite is not only a calming stone, but it also helps us connect to the angelic realm. So that could be significant for some of my Pisces here, that there's a need to open your heart up to connecting to divine helpers in the ethereal realms. And these helpers could very well be angels, they could be archangels, they could be passed away loved ones that want to come through. And there's a need to open the door to this connection for you, Pisces, right now. There's something, the block I'm kind of getting is an emotional disruption that was left unresolved. So this could have been a loved one that passed away suddenly. There's just really something that needs to be resolved within your heart chakra at this point in time. And you're getting the angelic realm coming through to offer support. Because, as I said, I keep seeing like this bag. And like I'm being shown that it's money, but it could be something else. And it's being delayed because there's this block in your heart that needs to be cleared out. So that's good. We're getting more insight. The blockage has to do with your heart chakra. And the block in particular could have to do with unresolved pain related to a passed on loved one or a loved one in general that you don't speak to anymore. There's a need to open the door to forgiveness that needs to come through. And if forgiveness for this person has been difficult because they've done something to you, the angels are coming through to offer you their support at this time and to really just hold your heart, because they've seen this pain that you've been carrying and they really want to help you get rid of it, because they're coming through and they're really saying that you deserve to feel prosperous. You deserve to feel abundant, rich, and just fulfilled in your life, Pisces. And the angels are coming through to heal your heart at this time, but you need to open the door. Angels don't come into our lives without our express permission. They accept that we have free will and we can call upon them at any point in time. Hi, beautiful. I'm okay. I'm actually just wrapping up the zodiac readings at this time. How are you? I'm just finishing up Pisces zodiac reading right now. Awesome. I'm happy to hear that. And I'm glad to hear that you've been good also. Oh, you're so sweet. I hope you've been doing well too, and I appreciate all that you do as well. All right, so as I was saying for Pisces, the angelic realm is really coming through to help alleviate this pain that has been anchored in your heart. And we're going to kind of go off a little bit here because I also have black tourmaline that has been sitting here. So this pain has kind of been this blackness in your heart at this point in time. And you're really having the angelic realm come through to really support you when it comes to releasing this pain. For some of you, this pain has kind of become ingrained and a part of your identity without you being fully aware of it. And it's become ingrained to the point where it might even be a personality trait that you've remained unaware of up until now. And the angels are coming through to really shed light on this and to remind you how lucky you actually are, because some of you have opportunities that have just been landing on your lap your whole life, not realizing that it's because you're inherently lucky. And the angels are saying that this luck is going to expand tenfold, but you need to release this pain that has been anchored in your heart for quite some time. So those are all the messages I'm getting for Pisces at this time. Please feel free to let me know how that resonates or doesn't resonate. I would love to hear from you. I'm sending you all so much love. Bye for now.